The Networking Magazine, proud to be different. Welcome to this edition of Jibber Jabber, the vocal part of the Networking Magazine. My next guest is a model, actress, and influencer boasting some 280,000 followers on Instagram. Chelsea Lesage has a catalogue of movies under her belt, managed by the Bohemia Group. Her striking features and fiery red hair pave the way forward for her nickname, the Mermaid. Hello, Chelsea. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Wow, what an introduction.
Do you know
How are
what?
you,
I
Sam?
am getting
Wow,
pretty cool at these introductions, really.
this is so good.
So, how have you been since we last spoke? I mean, you've been really busy, I know, but have you taken some time out for yourself in between the editorial and now, or have you been
I
just?
took I took last night off to just watch television, but other than that, no, not really.
Oh my God!
Um,
Okay,
uh, no, but it's good. Life is really good. Keeping
good,
busy.
good.
Love to keep up with everything that you've been doing. The magazine's
Oh, thank
great.
you, thank you
And
so much.
everyone has loved it. So thank you for
Great.
that.
You're welcome. Really great.
Yeah.
There's a serious side to your acting side of you, and you co-founded both CL Squared Productions and Golden Grand Piano Productions. You toured internationally with William Shakespeare's Henry V. I was wondering, for the audience across the pond who may not be that familiar with you, if you could talk a little bit about your grounding on stage. How did it all happen? When did it happen?
Oh yes. Well, Shakespeare is my favorite thing in the world. And I grew up playing the clarinet and singing and stuff. And then when I hit, I think it was around the ninth grade, I fell in love with the pentameter and Shakespeare and the melody, I guess, behind it, and just was
Wow.
like, all right, this is what I want to do with my life. Um, and thankfully, it's with the balance of modeling and film and TV. Thankfully, it's worked where I've gotten to do Shakespeare for a living. And I think that was kind of, as you kind of put it, the grounding. The grounding. It's really the foundation of everything. Kind of learning the ins and outs of such beautiful language, such
Are you,
beautiful
I
poetry.
mean, are you still very much involved with stage, or have you kind of left that part of you behind for now?
I actually no, I am since we last spoke, I actually took over as managing director of Off Broadway's company or the Off Broadway company's Stag and Lion, which
Wow.
I've been with for over a decade. So I'm the company manager there now. So no, we just wrapped doing Much Ado About Nothing, William Shakespeare's
Right.
Much Ado
I
About
saw the
Nothing.
poster. Yeah, I saw the
Yeah, so I played Beatrice in that. Right now, Oscar Wilde's Salome is up at the Space.
poster.
I'm just
Right.
doing publicity for that. That opened last
Amazing.
night and runs through the 4th of
Right.
September. And then next on the docket, we're doing King Lear. So
Ah.
I kind
Chelsea,
of, I think that.
We're gonna have to do another podcast as well about you've got so much on your plate. So sorry, I
It's
interrupted. I
no, it's
interrupted.
all right. I think that King Lear. Well, yes, I'm excited to do King Lear, but I think that
Mhm.
Shakespeare and being on the stage is definitely what keeps me grounded and keeps
Yeah.
me, so I don't lose my head in the clouds or get too wrapped up in,
How
I
do you get
guess.
time? But I mean, in terms of for the newbies who are coming into this, listening to you, and I know that you're idolized as an influencer a little bit because we can see the numbers grow. When we last spoke and we did the editorial, you were somewhere around 200,000. You're on 280,000 now, which is just incredible. So your words actually mean something to newbies. What
Thank you.
advice would you give someone who's entering the same sort of road that you took, stage and then stage and screen and modeling, and what kind of advice would you have for a newbie today?
Well, I was very reluctant to make the transition into doing modeling and film and television, and I really wish that I hadn't done that because it just opens up so many more opportunities for you as an
Mm.
artist. So I guess my advice would to not be stingy with yourself, and open yourself up to other opportunities. And then of course you never know who you're going to meet. The networking,
And
um,
networking, yeah,
the the networking that you find on a film set is going to be different
yeah,
than you're going to find on a Broadway stage. And they're both so vastly different that I would just give. I would say try everything. When people say that you have to stick to one career, that's
mhm,
not true.
wow,
That in no way is true. You can do is it's I'm still finding the balance.
yeah,
Like I think I had mentioned in our editorial.
yeah, that's right.
I'm still finding the balance. It's a daily thing, but that's good. That's kind of the beauty of it. So I guess if you're able to manage your time,
Mhm.
time management is key. Then you can really do everything that you want to do.
Amazing. You sound just like me. Um,
Yes.
talk to me a little bit about behind the camera, because I mean, you've got this persona, this wonderful fiery red hair, and this image of, the modeling opportunities keep flying in. I saw a picture taken from one of your movies or series, Bishop's Cove, and you look unrecognizable. It looks like you look something out of this world. Firstly, how long did it take to do the makeup for something like that?
Well, the Bishop's Cove, we're almost done. That's a feature
Right.
film from CL Squared.
Okay.
It's a horror film. We're almost done with principal photography. We only have 2 days left of shooting, so that's
Oh my God.
exciting.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, we've been working on this project for years.
Yeah.
The but so that'll be out making the festival circuit around the world in the
Wow.
spring, and then we'll be out on DVD and Blu-ray as well as on streaming. So keep a look
Amazing.
an eye out for Bishop's Cove. But in that, I'm a co-producer, and I play this character called the Nameless, and
Right.
she is out of this world. She is a
I
demon.
scared me. Yeah. It looked really, really scary.
Yeah, I think
Um,
the makeup several hours. The
wow.
longest I've been in a makeup chair for a horror thing has been around 5 hours.
God.
But I do know people. We've actually CL Squared has had actors in full body like casts and stuff
Oh
that's
my God.
taken a full workday, about 8 hours, to get them into makeup.
That
With
is,
of course a great team and everything, just to make
yeah.
it look as absolutely horrifying as possible. So yeah, I don't look anything like myself, and that
Well,
it's always
I
fun
was,
morphing into that.
I was kind of expecting to get like special effects, but really that, you were made up in such a way you don't even need any special effects. It was amazing.
Yeah, oh,
I
thank
think
you.
yeah, I saw that on your Instagram, which was, just out of this world. So tell me about the camera then. Does it get harder to compete against? Is it a very competitive industry, the modeling industry? I know you were at this event today, you're auditioning. You're always auditioning. You're always sort of finding your way forward in modeling. It's amazing. And I had a look at your Instagram. You just finished one ad. So what is it like being a model in today's world? Is it harder than it was? Is it easier than it was? Or opportunities thrown at you? Or do you really have to go out there and find them?
It's well, I think I've spoken about We Speak Models before, who is my mother
Mhm.
agency, and I've been with them since 2013, and they are very big in diversity, and every
Mhm.
body is beautiful, and they're kind of breaking the mold in the fashion industry and have been
Mhm.
um for years, and I'm so grateful for them for that, because I feel like they honestly have kind of morphed
Yeah.
um, how modeling works, at least stateside, primarily right now in New York right now, where you
Mhm.
no longer have to be stick thin.
Yeah.
Things they want you to have a personality. Like I get booked because of the gap in between my two front teeth.
Yeah.
Things that people would think your imperfections that would keep you from
Right.
booking work are now the things that make you book work.
Yeah.
So I mean, it has not stopped being competitive. I
Yeah.
was at this Go See, and for those of you who don't know what Go See is, like an audition
Yeah.
for models.
Okay.
And it and there was we were all hand selected by casting to go in, but there were still hundreds of us.
Oh my
Um,
God.
so it's nice to be wanted, but you
Yeah.
never know. But
Well, I
just
mean,
like auditioning is a part of the job, so is rejection, you know.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I wanted to talk a little bit about that, but you have modeled for big brands such as CoverGirl, Yeti, JC Penney, and Venus. and I know that you've got this persona that does. I mean, does it get easier the more you've done, or it doesn't really have any bearing?
No, it definitely gets easier, but every client, wants something different out of you.
Mhm.
I think that what has kind of made it easiest for me is coming into who I am as a person and becoming more comfortable with that and just allowing myself to be myself from the casting room to the job.
Right,
Um, because I mean, that's everything. If they fall in love with your personality, they think that the clothes that, then
right.
you feel more comfortable in whatever clothes they're putting you in, and therefore the
Yeah.
ad sells. Yeah, yeah.
And I also wanted to talk a little bit about the bullying side because, it's a very topical subject, being bullied. And I know that, back in the day, you were bullied. You said that at 13, you were 5'11". Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So I talked about like I think I was the first person to hit puberty in grammar school, and then I think I was 9, and then I shot up, and I
Amazing.
think I'm 5'11". I was either 5'10" or 5'11" by age 13.
Wow.
So
Wow.
definitely got bullied for being a band geek and
You had
also
the last
doing.
laugh though, didn't you, Chelsea?
I had the last laugh. Yes,
So what
yes.
about, I mean, when you talk about modeling, I mean, when you're going to these auditions, do you notice now that there's no sort of height restrictions? There's no sort of, anything is thrown into the arena, and it doesn't have to be the sort of size 8 model, or, it is everybody's in the arena with you.
Yeah, which is it's such an amazing thing to see. I think that the industry has a lot of growth still to do, but so does every industry,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of growth in the last, I mean, definitely in the last decade, but in the last 5 years even more so. And it's really exciting. Like, it warms my heart. It brings tears to my eyes when I walk into a
It must be.
casting room and women just look like, you see
Yeah.
women who look like women. You see there's
Yeah.
a huge call for non-binary people right now,
Mhm.
and it's these people are booking work where they didn't really have um,
Mm.
the means or the availability to do so because the industry was so close-minded like a decade ago. So it's
Amazing.
really cool. It's so cool.
Tell me about the horror genre a little bit, going back to the Bishop's Cove.
Mhm.
Um, you're such a very diverse character. Can we, I know on a podcast people can't see you, but if they could see you, and they will, um, because I'm going to put a link to your editorial. If they could see
Yay.
you, you're very versatile. You fit a lot of different genres. There's no way to sort of file you. I love that about you. Do you find that that plays to an advantage for you, that you can be on stage one day and look completely different, like you've been born on stage, and then the next day you're modeling for a clothing brand and you have a completely different look? I mean, I does it play well to what you do, not being able to be filed?
It definitely means I don't know what boredom feels like anymore. It's just, it's, it's a huge gift, and it's really fun. It's really fun to continue to work and strive
Mm.
towards that. And I love like telling family, they just have no, they're like, is she shooting a toothpaste ad today? Is she covered in blood, or is she playing Lady Macbeth today? Like it's
Right.
that's just been really one of the wildest and most rewarding things about my career thus far,
Amazing.
is being
Amazing.
able to go and do all those things. I'd like to continue to not be fileable.
Yeah, I mean, that's the conventional way that used to be there. That you had to be filed to get on with a career,
Yeah.
and all these typecast, type things went on, but not now. I think it's a free for all. Really, it's
It is, you're right.
yeah,
It's
really good.
it's
So
good.
tell me about the exciting new projects you have coming, going forward. You touched a little bit about that, but let's go into some detail. What have you got on the horizon? And yeah, for the audience who are listening in, tell me about the projects in some detail.
Yes, yes. So I had mentioned it. If any of you are in New York, and want to come to Stag and Lion Theater Company on West 57th Street right now, we're doing Oscar Wilde's Salome, and then I will be playing Goneril in King Lear, Shakespeare's King Lear, at the end of September through most of October. So if you are here, please come. That's stagandliontheater.com. I think, yes. And so that's really great as far as the stage goes. I do have some modeling things coming up that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love you'll see them. You'll see them.
For those people who are listening in, for the audience who are listening in, I will make sure that I put Chelsea's Instagram on the podcast description, along with a link for her editorial, so you can read a little bit about her journey, through time and the way that she's been able to diversify within all these different genres and fits. So yeah, Chelsea, it's been amazing to talk to you today. And I know that you've just literally walked in the door from your auditioning. So I really appreciate your time.
No, that's wonderful. I appreciate you so much. And keep an eye out for Bishop's Cove.
Will do.
And 21st Century Demon Hunter will be out on DVD. Come on.
Well, maybe we can do a catch up, at a future day, just to, maybe that would be nice. Just in a few months' time, come back to the program and give us a little update. I'm sure that across the pond would be interested.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. This has been thank you for having me. I love it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Well, if you have been tuning in to the podcast, thank you very much for doing so. And listen out for more about Chelsea on the podcast description and future podcasts going forward. That's all we have time for today. So thanks for joining me. Till next time, bye for now.